Lian Li clearly listened to all the grumpy feedback about the wireless versions of its previous fans and have actually released some that are now properly wireless. These are the Lian Li SL-Infinity wireless model, and as you can see, there are no wires, although there are some caveats to that I'll get to in a second. These are the new and improved versions of the SL-Infinity fans, which now feature dual-layered infinity mirrors on the side, and some other small changes like those covers over the screw holes, for example, that make for a really clean build. The SL-Infinity fans have been my favourite for a long time, so I'm really pleased to see a wireless variant of these fans being released. They feature a really nice setup in terms of the infinity mirror in the middle and down the edge, as well as that edge lighting, and you can customize all of that within L-Connect. I built them here in the NZXT H9 Flow, as well as the Lian Li Evo XL, so you can see what they look like in those two builds, and I'll be able to show off and talk about a few different things of interest. Now I'm going to do a separate wiring and setup guide on these fans and talk about the logic behind them and how you use them. But here I wanted to show a few things of interest. First of all, the reverse blade fans are now available in a triple pack, which will please many people. And in that triple pack, you get all these things, including the all-important wireless dongle, which I'll get to in a second, and some other cables that you will need. Like other Lian Li Uni fans, these fans simply lock together, interlocking fans that connect up really easily and then require minimum connectivity in terms of being able to work. You can actually put 4 of these into a group and connect them up pretty easily. And then you just need the cable that's included with a triple pack, and you do get this with single packs as well, which then plugs into your motherboard. Now, this is both a wireless receiver and the power for the fans. And yes, this is a wire in wireless fans, but it does connect to either end of the group of fans and then connects to the motherboard. Lian Li's basically trying to simplify the connectivity of these fans and make life easier. If you are lucky enough to be able to purchase one of the triple packs really quickly, and you're one of the first 6,000 to do it, you also get this battery pack included in there. So for a limited run, they're including this battery pack, which you can then connect up to the SL-Infinity fans and an adapter to work with other wireless Lian Li fans. You can charge it up using a standard USB-C cable and obviously a power brick and charging that up in a normal way, and then it can be just connected up to a group of fans and transform them into wireless ones, as you saw at the beginning of the video. Obviously this is going to have a limited amount of longevity to it in terms of how much you can run the fans for, and the faster you run them and the brighter the RGB lighting, the less time you're going to have with these. And it might have limited use cases other than showing it off in a video, for example. Let me know if you can think of any others, but you are able to do this. Now, you can also plug that power bank into your PC and then sync it with L-Connect, and then you can adjust the lighting and more from the software remotely, so it still has the wireless connection and is properly wireless in this instance, and so lives up to the name. Now, you can get standard fans and reverse blade fans in single packs and triple packs. There are only 120mm fans available at the time I'm making this video, but in a single pack, you obviously get one of those wireless receivers and the connectors, as well as the screws. And you can see the difference here between the standard and reverse blade setup. You'll notice the curve of the fans is different, the way it faces. And so this is a view of what that would look like in the case. You'd use reverse blade fans down the side and on the bottom, so you could still see the infinity mirrors, and then standard at the top and at the rear for exhaust. With a normal setup, otherwise you'd have to put your fans face down if you use standard throughout to do intake. So you'd put the back of the fan facing inwards, which is obviously not be ideal. So reverse blade means you get better aesthetics. Now for these things, obviously wireless is limited, so you do actually need to use wires. And one thing I would recommend, a big tip here, is to make use of the triple pack, because you get this adapter in here which allows you to plug 3 fan groups into it and then connect it to SATA power. This will cause you far less issues if you do this. This is especially important if you're using 3 or more fans in a group, so 4 for example, because what you'll find is the connections basically don't draw enough power easily from the motherboard to be able to power them effectively and can cause some lighting problems. So using the SATA adapter is just much easier. This does, however, mean that the fans spin up maximum when you first boot up until L-Connect loads, but once that's set up and is working, you'll then find that it's just better that way. There are other things you can do, which I'll mention in the full wiring guide about setting the fans to PWM mode as an alternative. Then obviously you also have the USB dongle. This is the wireless dongle and the wireless part of the wireless naming of these fans. So this can either plug into the back of the motherboard like so and give you the wireless signal, 2.4 gigahertz, or you connect it directly to the motherboard with a USB-C cable. This adapter cable plugs into one end of it, and then on the other end it has a PWM header that plugs into a system fan header on the motherboard, and then a USB connection that plugs into the USB connector. This enables it to work with L-Connect still, but means that you can just nestle this dongle away at the back of your case, which is my preference because, as you've seen, it's pretty chunky and it'll be sticking out the back of your PC and obviously using up a USB port on the rear of your PC as well, which you might want to use for your keyboard, mouse, headset, and maybe other things. So it's just easier to connect it to the motherboard directly and then hide it away, but still get signal from it. Then in L-Connect, all you need to do is go into the wireless sync setup and basically link all the different fans that you put into your system with the wireless dongle so that they're connected, and then you can control them nice and easily. From there, you can also click on the little light bulb to identify which group of fans is which within the system, which can be handy for assigning them basically different cooling profiles. And you can also obviously choose from a number of different lighting effects in here to apply to basically all the fans, or you can customize on a fan by fan basis and adjust various things like the lighting around the mirrors or the edges, for example, and tweak things. But there are loads of different effects in there that you can easily get into, and then you can show them off in your build. And basically, these are great looking fans that run really quietly and yet cool effectively. A nice upgrade to the previous Infinity fans, and a really smart looking one as well. If you're interested in finding out more, subscribe if you haven't already, because I'm going to do a full in-depth wiring and setup guide with hints around things you need to watch out for during the installation process and other things that you can adjust. And thanks very much for watching. Check out the links in the description to find out more. You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos. You might well find them interesting or useful. And most importantly, have a great life.